Hello, everybody. Welcome to FGC Cast. I am your delectable co-host, as always, the Purple Sharpie, and I'm here as usual with my very, very comfy friend, YOHOSIE. How you doing today, Don?
I'm doing good. Not quite as delectable, but I'm slightly delectable. I'm doing a-okay. It's a beautiful Mother's Day today.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm just big chilling. I'm in my PJs. It's a hot one out, so I'm sweating. But you know, I'm doing good.
The elephant, once again, is that we haven't done a podcast in a while, have we?
No, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
We both got crazy busy for a long time, and I think we looked at the podcast and said, like, this is content we definitely want to do because we just vibe. We just like talking to each other.
We do be vibing.
It's like a vacation, like a content vacation. It's just fun.
Love these content vacations.
Yeah, we miss talking to each other. We miss sharing our thoughts, our opinions with all y'all, and we just wanted to return to form and talk to each other again. So here we are.
I'm a big fan of talking to people, but I'll tell you what I'm truthfully a huge fan of, Don, and that has to be playing some early game demos and betas. And the thing that I've recognized the most since we haven't been doing the podcast is that there's been some crazy news recently in a lot of these demos, and I'm gonna bring up the very first one, which is probably absolutely no surprise to people. Street Fighter 6 is currently inside of open beta. Actually, the weekend that we'll be dropping this, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited personally because I know that I'm going to be spending a lot of time playing Kim,
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Like they did this, how do I put it? They did a demo version, right? That's been out for about 2 weeks now. Have you played the demo, Sharpie?
I did. I played no, actually I didn't play the demo. I played the beta.
Actually. You played the beta, the last one? Yeah. I felt like I got screwed a little bit because the beta, I signed up and I got it on PS5 and I was like, yes, I want to play the Street Fighter 6 closed beta. Let me plug in my hitbox, and the hitbox doesn't work.
That's the worst feeling. That's the worst feeling in the world.
It turns out that you need an expensive adapter to play it, and I'm old and my hands are made out of dust and bones
and saw.
So I try to hold a controller like a normal child, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
It's impossible.
So yeah, I missed out on the closed beta, but I've been playing the demo. The demo's it's interesting. I've never quite had
Yeah.
Do you know what the demo, what features the demo has?
So I know that the demo only has 2 characters, and I believe those 2 characters are Ryu and Luke. Or is it Ken and Luke?
No, it's Ryu and Luke.
Okay.
Yeah.
So talk to us about your experience with the demo thus far, because I know a lot of other people have taken the opportunity to actually play the beta. Oh my god! Yeah. I don't know why we got hit with ads. I'm not gonna hold you. We got hit with the ad mix up, so we're just gonna.
That's right. That's Ryu flexing on him. Yeah, good old. That's Guile military, right? No. So the demo is really a demo. It has the first chapter of the story mode in it, which I tried playing, but I feel like I'd want to change the controls to. I don't like modern controls. There's a whole discussion we could have on that I'll skip for now, but. The first chapter of story mode you can play in the demo. It's locked to modern, so which is the 4-button control instead of the 6-button. The 3 kicks, 3 punches. So I don't like playing that way personally. I haven't really gotten used to it, and it's not something I want to do. So I haven't been doing that. Instead, what everyone has been doing is fighting level 8 CPUs. Which is the most cracked CPU I think I've ever fought in a fighting game, except maybe Guilty Gear Strive has a good CPU also, but level 8 CPU is a messed up son of a biscuit. It's really hard. It's really hard. They really went ham on these CPUs. They do omega optimal combos. Optimal in air quotes because it's a demo version.
Yeah.
They cook you. They whiff punish you really good. They DP if you don't jump on them or you die. So a lot of people have just been grinding that, and that's what I've been doing. No online, so that's pretty much all you have at this point, unless you play with Parsec. Yeah.
Well, I guess one of my big questions is, one of the big like controversies around the game right now, is that in order to actually play the demo or the beta previously, you had to have pre-ordered it, right? But I believe this upcoming weekend that's coming up, it's going to be an open beta, right? You don't need a key, you don't need to pre-order it, you can just play it and test it and see if you want to pre-order it.
Yeah, which is cool. You know, like there's an interesting dichotomy, I think, to like demo versus beta in this situation. Like the demo is cool, and it being just open is cool. Like that's neat. And the fact that we're getting a traditional open beta, which is, I feel like, something relatively new. Like we haven't had open betas. I think we started getting them in like 2018. I would guess 2018, 2019. So they've only been out for about 4 years. So it's like not even that expected, honestly, but they're trying to patch out the online and make sure it's good to go. I heard that from the last closed beta, it was good. We'll see how the servers handle everyone flooding in. But yeah, you can literally just go and play it. It's the weekend, I believe it's May 19th to the 21st. Don't quote me on that, but it's basically this weekend.
Yeah, this upcoming weekend. By the time this podcast is live, just know that this Saturday, you're probably going to want to be playing the Street Fighter 6 complete beta. And unlike the demo, it's actually going to have all the characters available inside of the game, I believe.
Yeah, just the fact that it has more characters, I think it has half of what the launch cast will be, and online, like, just makes it 20 times better than the demo. The demo is cool that you can just play it, but oh my god, like Ryu and Luke, like, would just put the needle in me and just put me off to fucking sleep. I'm done. Like I can't do it at all. I need I need to cook, and the Luke and Ryu do not cook at all. So
there was something else that I wanted to briefly discuss before we move on to our next topic outside of Street Fighter V. And that would have to be, obviously, the tournament scene popping up around Street Fighter Street Fighter 6.
That's right.
And that's because we've seen a lot of individuals start to run tournaments for this game. Not like, I don't want to say these individuals hadn't been running stuff before, because they have been, you know, but we have a couple of people inside the community who are known for running tournaments that have really been stepping up to the plate, I would say, with the game right now. And a really good example of that is actually someone I'm going to be showing right now, and that would be actually Tong.
Oh, good old Tong.
Good old Tong.
I love Tong.
He stepped up. Obviously, everyone knows that Marvel's actually inside of EVO this year. And he has been running tournaments non-stop since arcade days for this game, along with a couple of other individuals, like obviously Jabali. You have like Persia, like Marvel Libs. I believe Persia possibly announced that she may be doing commentary for this game. So there are a lot of people coming out of, like, I don't want to call them like the woodworks or something, but like a lot of people are really stepping up now that like the game is not only like becoming more open to individuals through the lens of EVO, but like the new generation of gamers are actively out here running things. And I bring this up because Tong's actually running a beta tournament, I believe. I don't actually know the time period of it, but it's just really interesting to me that, obviously, as you know, running a tournament is stressful, and then running a tournament when you don't know what the netcode's going to be like, and you don't know if it's going to be online only or anything, and dedicating your resources to that ahead of time is a big commitment. What are your thoughts on basically Tong opting to run this beta tournament, in addition to the fact that we could actually have an online only beta right now?
So, you know, me and Tong have been friends now for, like 12 to 11 years. Like, so, for those who don't know Tong Li ran Tampa's scene, like, front to back for every game. And I used to live in Tampa, and, you know, I've stayed at his house and played Marvel back in the day, because Marvel was like one of the first games I played alongside Persona 4 Arena. And like, he's always been hosting Marvel and always been hosting like local tournaments. And then he graduated to TNS and hosting TNS offline back in like 2016, 2015, which was like a mini CEO and was all of Florida. It was like regional, right? And then he went online with obviously Marvel, who he's been hosting for a long time, as well as DNF Duel. He's been hosting Grand Blue. He's been hosting Strive. TNS has been popping off in every way, shape, or form. It even does like in-person broadcasts now at most. There's a TNS stream. So, you know, Tong deserves all the respect in the world, and I think like doing a Street Fighter 6 beta tournament is an absolute no-brainer from Tong, both in terms of like it'll be hype, and I'm glad he's running it because it's a lot of work. Right?
Yeah, we're
like,
looking at amazing production value from anything he brings to the table, in addition to like just a really OG, fantastic member of the scene, working hard to basically fill, I feel like, a lot of holes that were left from the pandemic without the offline, you know?
Yeah.
So it's nice to see some people stepping up.
Every time I see Tong Li, I'm like, how you doing, man? He's like, yeah, I just got done working a 78-hour day, and I'm, you know, my feet hurt a little bit, and I'm tired, but I'm here, and I'm working. And I'm like, damn, Tong, you rule.
Put in
like,
the work, my guy. You put in the work.
He is, no cap. He is the hardest working person in the scene, and I 100% believe that.
For sure. You know, speaking of hard-working people inside of the scene, what's crazy to me is the fact that Combo Breaker is actually literally happening this upcoming weekend.
Oh my god, I know. I'm so excited. I know.
I am incredibly scared of, I don't want to say like the event itself, but just, well, let me go ahead and show you, because I actually happen to have the registration numbers up right now from Twitter. So we're going to go ahead and take a very brief look, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form vamping. If you think I am, it's because you have never had to commentate anything in your entire life. So
that's right. Yeah, we're vamping in terms of we're excited about Vampire Saviors.
I'm a big fan of Vampire Saviors, which actually has 119 entrants this year.
Can you imagine, like, you make a game, you release it like what, 15 to 20 years ago, and then it still gets like 120 entrants at like a tournament that people fly out from all around the world. It's so cool. It's so cool. Vampire Saviors rules.
Yeah, it does. And speaking of ruling, let's go ahead and take a look at these ruling numbers right here. So we have the closed registration, starting with Guilty Gear, obviously highest entrance. They have 1,061 entrants is what we're looking at here. And
that's right. The 1,061.
Yeah,
that's me. I'm the last one. I'm the 1,061. I'm here.
It's me.
It's me. It's me.
You know, you can never truly discount how powerful the community will go for their game, and I'm always really thankful that, like, just in general, Combo Breaker gives every game an opportunity. You know.
Yeah, and like look at these. One Tekken 7 690, nice. Like, imagine a world like 690 for Tekken 7. Like, that game is the second biggest game there. That's just so cool. Like,
I think the game that killed me here is UMVC 3-2 has 192, and that's not even the biggest game there. And this game is going to be at Evo. Like, when you look at this list through the lens of Evo games, what you notice is that their numbers aren't up here in the top. And if you look at any other tournament, you're going to only see games being offered that are going to be up there in the top. And that's, so it's like you have Guilty Gear Strive, Tekken, obviously no brainers. But look at this, Mystery Tournament has almost 500 entrants.
Girl, like, Mystery Tournament having more than like 128 entrance is crazy. They were just like, you know what, let's just open it this year.
That's exactly what I'm saying, is like they had no qualms whatsoever about making sure that the people felt empowered at this event. And that's what I'm a fan of personally. And that's why I will always come back to Combo Breaker, which,
and like, look at Exerd. Exerd is 300 and how much? 321 entrants for Exerd?
321 entrants for Guilty Gear Exerd. Yes.
I'm not even, you know, I feel like people exaggerate. That actually, it blows my mind.
Right?
Like that.
No, I'm not exaggerating when I be saying this shit, because it's like, it's crazy to me personally that the community goes out this freaking strong, you know? Like, that's astounding, Because you look at Skullgirls numbers, was an Evo last year, 149. That's nothing to sneeze at. But look at DNF Duel, was not a main game there, 141, 8 entrants less. Sam Show, a game with notoriously unfortunate online that went into quarantine. Not looking super healthy, to be honest with you. 129 people. VSAB, 119. Only really accessible offline. Like, look at these numbers.
Yeah,
That's...
I think... As an aside, I think Sam Show got a rollback beta. I think that's coming.
Oh yeah, they
soon.
did announce that at Evo, actually, didn't they?
Yeah. I think they got it, and it was super jank.
Okay.
But you know, I'm not a Sam Show player. Either way.
Yeah.
What is BH? Do you know what BH is?
You know, I actually
Benihana?
wonder if that's I was gonna say Bloody Roar, but then I remember that would be BR. Not
Yeah,
BH.
I feel like didn't they say Bloody Roar was coming to Combo Breaker also?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was, but I wonder if that's actually just Brawlhalla numbers, because that would make sense.
Ooh, that could be Brawlhalla.
Because MultiVersus is right here, and MultiVersus is 42.
Yes, you're probably right.
Yeah. So I'm not upset about. Firstly, I'll be honest, just as a MultiVersus like commentator and someone interested in the scene, I'm kind of disappointed by these numbers. Sure. You know, but I get it. I understand why. Like, you have to remember we are a month away from the beta exclusively being local. So I think a lot of people are like, kind of, let's make sure that there are no more updates that we have to practice on before we get back into the let's just lab phase of the game.
I think the disillusion of the open beta as it is now, it makes sense that the competition is not there at the moment. I'm sure they'll be back when it releases proper. So
for sure.
Yeah.
But
like,
with these, go on, please.
Yeah, like good stuff to Combo Breaker. Like running all these games, what is it, like 20 something games, and like. I'm gonna be there. I'm flying out 100%. I think most of the FGC that actually travels to event is Combo Breaker, consistently one of the best events. And like, if you've never been to Combo Breaker, it's a little too late to reg, but like, you need to show up because it is by far, like, you don't need to register for games to have fun at all. Like, just show up.
Oh, for sure. Like, I just personally want to shout out this absolutely amazing, ridiculous trailer that they made that went entirely too hard for like no reason. I cannot in any way, shape, or form downplay this. I mean, like, I'm not downplaying it, but did you happen to actually hear what they did for this trailer? They actually got a custom like theme made by Zayd and Joey, and when you look at all of the work that they put into Combo Breaker, like even just from a spectator point of view, I know you're really big personally, Don, on like talking about the worth of single player content inside of games, and you know, making sure that a game feels worth the amount that you're putting into it. But this is one of those tournaments that I feel like even as a spectator, if you're at this event, you're getting your money's worth, you know?
I feel like so for those that don't know, Combo Breaker, it's in Chicago. It is at a really beautiful convention center, and if you're in the Chicago area, you need to go. Spectating is cheap, and also it is a 24-hour venue with open setups. You can literally just come in, find a top player, go, can I play you? Hi, I'm Johnny Donuts. Play them in a set, talk with them. Or just like actual fine like competition near level, like you can just chill, you can spectate. Combo Breaker is a top tier experience, and everyone at the venue is super nice. Like the staff is nice, there's food there, like it's good. Like it's an amazing venue. You need to go.
It's always a good time at Combo Breaker. It always it even says it right here, like the Hado, like he has a huge team. You can kind of see it right now. I don't think I have it set up to like grab my mouse. Actually, I'll go ahead and set that up, but you can see even right here, May 26th through the 28th, and the Hado works so hard, and like it cuts off some of the names of the games that we talked about here. But like, firstly, just this song's a bop. There's more music actually coming out at Combo Breaker, you know. Ooh. But when you look at the number of games that they have here, my God. Primal Rage.
Like what a Primal Rage. Like the original Primal Rage. You can play it at Combo Breaker and get a trophy.
That's so wild to me.
You can get a Primal Rage trophy in 2023. That's crazy.
That's just, it's so insane to me, truthfully.
Yeah.
Like,
this tournament's got like, if you've never been to Combo Breaker, you need to go to Combo Breaker.
Please
It's worth it. If you're in
Combo
Chicago,
Breaker.
go. It's just go. Trust us. Go.
Ignore me actively editing some of it. Like, ignore our growing pains right now and just head over to Combo Breaker. Just do it.
Yep. Open Google Maps. Type in Combo Breaker 2023. I think you need to get the address and just start walking now. Actually. Yeah. Just start walking.
Or you can take the bus. Did I ever tell you about my bus saga to Combo Breaker? Because it was hell.
No, I want to hear your bus saga.
Well,
Hit me.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It started off inside of Virginia, which is where I live, and I took a bus, and it took me up to Pennsylvania, and then that took me to Ohio, and then that took me to Illinois. It was a 2-day bus trip, by the way. I arrived in Chicago the very next day at like 9 o'clock in the morning. And keep in mind, I left 2 days prior at like 8 p.m.
Did you do the thing where you walk off the bus and go to your pools, or like did you land, like did you get off the bus on?
I cried on that bus ride. We got pulled over by the cops because people were partaking in some Mary Jane on the bus.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was a whole thing. Like, the bus was just, we were stationary because our transfer wasn't there yet, so we had to wait on another bus because of like people couldn't drive and they didn't have any other drivers available for my bus ride, apparently, which was not inside of my time originally at all. If I knew I was signing up for like a 2-day bus drive, I would never have gone. I was on that bus for over 24 hours. And that's what blew my freaking mind. It wasn't the same bus, like we transferred. But it was at the point where it was like both my mind and my body were tired.
Yeah, I've only been on one bus to a tournament, and it was from like NorCal to SoCal, and I'm like, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah,
so
no,
I can't imagine
most people would say that, right? Most people
Yeah.
would, but myself, in true FGC fashion, told myself I would never do it again, and then I did it the very next year, and it was hell.
Did it go better at least?
I didn't have any viral tweets.
Okay, that's good. That's always a positive thing.
Yeah.
Well, now I never have a viral tweet. It's awesome. Not having viral tweets is the best,
It's
girl.
literally the best. Yeah, I agree.
Imagine being like a slave to the algorithm in some way, or like beholden to the algorithm, right?
That's how I sometimes feel about TikTok,
Yeah. Imagine letting go. Like you're holding on to the precipice of the cliff. Your fingers are slipping, and like you're like, oh, it's so hard just to stay relevant and stay on and think of funny tweets. You could just let go and
Can
just
I be honest with you for a second, Don?
Girl, you can be honest with me anytime you want. Hit me.
Actively fantasize about throwing my phone into an ocean. Like,
Girl,
that's what I
same.
daydream about.
Same.
I don't know if that's normal or not. I just want to share because it's like so much of me. I think I especially feel like because so much of my creativity is so like public that people get the idea that like I'm a big fan of consistently living online, and I hate it. Like, I enjoy hanging out with you, and some of our other friends and that type of connection, but also having every single aspect of your life open to not just that community, but anybody who wants to see it is.
Yep.
That's the part that I'm always just like, man, this phone deserves to be in the ocean,
No, yeah, I hate phones, honestly. I'm like, I feel like I'm turning into an old lady.
Same.
Where like I look at my phone and I'm like my wife, right? Like she'll be like, yeah, I'm just filling out this government form on my phone, and I'm like, what
if we didn't do that anymore? What if we just didn't?
No, like I don't even like to read on my phone. I don't like to look at things on my phone.
Yeah.
When I open my phone and everyone's like, you just need to do this, I'm like, I'm old. I don't like this shit. I like a keyboard and I like to clickety clack.
Big fan of
don't
keyboards.
Want to be connected. Big fan of keyboards.
Huge fan.
I miss the days when I would post on a forum with like 200 people on it.
Oh, forums were so good, dude. Forums were so good. Like, I just remember the ability to carefully craft whatever you wanted to say.
Yeah.
Just being able to do that. Now, the worst thing that ever happened to forums are notifications. Like,
yes.
the internal, like, you wake up, you see a notification, and you just know that regardless of what the fuck you're about to open, you're gonna have to respond in the next 5 minutes. Like,
I never understood. People are like, Discord's so good, and it's so good for conversations. And I'm like, I don't want to have a conversation.
I don't,
like, you
just text
want
me
to
at this
talk
point.
with people?
Yeah.
I want to talk to, like, I want to post, and then other people could read it if they want, or they could ignore it. I don't want to, like, have a back and forth with someone. Like, no thank you, pass.
Very,
you know?
yes. Very yes. And in other old woman feelings, you know what I especially love, back to get on the topic of Combo Breaker here,
Sure.
but what I especially love about Combo Breaker is not exclusively any aspect of just like the gameplay, but like I've said a couple times before, and I know I'm probably like really knocking this horse to death, but I have to say that like the general experience that they bring you, even just from the staff aspect of it, is absolutely mind-blowing. And I kind of want to just shout out the staff that's here. They even include it on the Smash GG, but they actually say that they are literally a part of events like Evo, CEO, Genesis, Red Bull Conquest, Tekken World Tour, Twitch Rivals. You know, they have volunteer programs for people who go there. I'm actually signed up to be a registered volunteer in addition to commentating, which I believe you're also commentating, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I'm commentating DNF Duel. I normally volunteer, but I'm not volunteering this year. But yeah, like I'm a firm believer that everyone should volunteer, and for me, I'm passing this year to commentate DNF Duel. So
talk to me a little bit more about where DNF Duel is right now as a game, because I know you've really been very passionate about this game and the community in the past.
Yeah.
And I'd be really interested to see and know if you have any thoughts on it. I know that you very recently actually came out with a video with it on YouTube, correct? And I'm just going to have some footage of that playing while you go ahead and give us some briefs of your thought. Of course, viewers, we highly recommend that all viewers go ahead and take a look at your YouTube, which I believe is youtube.com/YOHOSIE. I'm correct.
We highly recommend that you watch content, subscribe, comment, share,
subscribe.
Yes. So DNF Duel is in a really weird spot right now. Like in terms of the gameplay itself, I think it's better than it's ever been, and I thought the game was pretty fun on release. The game came out kind of like we'll call it a little janky. It's a little jank. It had like a really painful guard crush setups where basically you block once and you die. Quite literally, like your guard breaks and then you literally explode. Had really bad balance issues with like Swiftmaster doing 1 million damage. Hitman had a safe on block DP that literally killed you. It was rough, and they've patched it and made it a lot better really quickly. And oh, there I am. Hey, what's up? So they patched it, they made it better, but the unfortunate thing is that they were promising Spectre back in December, and then the Arc World Tour Finals was in March, and we all expected Spectre to be playable at Arc World Tour, but they announced that Spectre is part 1 of a season pass, which is starting in summer of 2023. And for those who don't know how long summer is, I think technically summer is until September, right? Don't quote me on that. I'm a simpleton.
No. That already sounds like a really big promise for the devs to like fulfill, especially with the amount of time you get from that, you know?
Yeah, well, the thing is that the game's been out for a year now, right? So, like, when Guilty Gear was announced, or when it was released, Gold Lewis came out a month after. When Street Fighter 6 was released, Alex came out a month after, and then Guile the month after that, right? So, we're in a situation where the game has been out for a year, and we have a vague due date of the first character. Which is like, so when did they start working on that character? Like what, like, like after the game released, which is not that's problematic in and of itself, right? Like that's a big deal. So my theory is that the publisher Nexon didn't greenlight the DLC until after the game was released, which is like not at all how you make video games in 2023 when it comes to fighting games. Like, they wanted the game to be successful before they greenlit DLC is my suspicion.
Now, please continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so basically 1 year after a game comes out for season 1 is kind of rough.
Do you believe that some of the upcoming DLC will make up for, I want to call it kind of that lull in like pre-made content and updated rule sets and move sets inside of the game?
No, I don't think it will. I'm like, you can't catch up from a year of no content for a game.
Yeah.
You just can't do that. You know, like you're not going to catch up. It's not going to be as big as it would. Would it help? Yes. Is DNF going to see a resurgence? No, not really. I don't think so. Which is sad because I love the game.
It's a pain. It's difficult. The game had a lot of momentum when it first came out, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And it's a shame to see it now, but you know, it happens. It's I don't want to call it like the natural order of things, of course, but it's definitely also the way it goes.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like the game was a lot of fun, but people had problems with it. It was kind of kusuge, which for those who don't know means basically BS fighter. And yeah, it's a shame. I think the DLC is going to be cool, but like the fact that we still don't have an exact date and it's a year after launch is kind of telling.
Big pain.
It's big pain, girl. It's big pain. I feel it in my gut. So it's the summer 2023. I feel it in my gut.
Eventually we'll get there. Eventually we will. You know, there is one other bit of news that I want to cover, obviously, right now.
Yeah.
Before we kind of move along towards the ending of our cast. But we never got to cover this news. This is also, once again, old news that we probably have already, you know, kind of like talked about on this podcast, just very briefly talked about it, but I'm going to go ahead and just introduce it because I want to, and that is the fact that the MultiVersus beta is officially ending next month. Tony actually came out and announced he's one of the developers of Player First, which is the development team that actually is in the process of creating MultiVersus, and he has actively said, you know, we got a lot of data from this past year inside of open beta. There's a lot that we learned, but ultimately we need to make some changes to the game, and we need to go ahead and make it so that this game has all the polish that it deserves. And then he announced that unfortunately that means the game's going to have to go offline completely, and online games will not be available anymore. Of course, there will still be local. People still will be able to access the game locally. And a lot of people are really excited about that prospect, obviously, because we'll have a little bit more stability. But there are some people who are concerned just because they seem to believe that just in the past of other games, this usually means the game's not coming back. And personally, when I first saw this message, I was at first worried, and then I remembered everything Player First has ever done means that they're going to come back, and they're going to come back bigger than ever, and they're going to come out with a very solid, like, full version of the game. I think a big complaint, especially inside the fighting game community, is always the netcode. You know, you have to have a really, really good online connection, and I feel as though a lot of people didn't necessarily feel as though the game had that. So I'm personally really excited because if they take the game exclusively offline, what that means is that they're in a better place to test with different online options, which I really, really appreciate about the development of this game. Just means that they have to do more, and giving them a little bit more time to do more, I think, is a smart idea as well. So they've announced that they will be coming back, I believe, in early 2024. Per this official tweet posted on March 27th. So obviously, Don, let's talk thoughts. You know, MultiVersus came out like a wrecking ball, if you recall.
Yeah, no, it came out like a wrecking ball, and unfortunately the backswing didn't quite wreck as much as the forward swing. It's a really good game, and it's unfortunate that it's fallen off, and I think that they're making the right call. They're like, okay, something is wrong here. I'm not as deep into playing it as you are, obviously, but everything I know about the game and everything I've experienced so far has been really strong, and whatever is causing people to fall off, it sounds like it's the online. I'm 100% all for taking it offline, giving it some additional polish, taking it to like, okay, let's really dig into what's wrong with this gameplay loop or what's wrong with this feature of this game, and bringing it back next year. Like, I'm super in favor of it. I don't know.
I'm really happy they're doing it once again.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much, especially when I was inside the Skullgirls community, like, and people got upset about the netcode. I always wish that they would just take the game down and address it, and then come back afterwards and be like, look, it's fixed, so that people would, one, bitch a little bit less, and two, like, understand that developing isn't just pressing a fucking button, you know? Like, that's my biggest concern when I see people updating netcode while the game still stays online, is that, oh yeah, by the way, people are going to think that this is like free, that this is an easy thing that people can just do. And that's always my biggest concern, you know?
Also, too, like this might be an all hands on deck type situation, aside from maybe the 3D modelers, right? But like, except for the designers and artists, like, this might just be what they're working on for the net. Like, all combat designers, all developers will be working on MultiVersus in like this very specific way. So like, imagine a world, I don't know, like a DNF Duel where you release no content for a year.
Ooh, what happens to a game like that, Don?
Ooh, well, not great things.
Interesting so, man, that you bring that up.
Yeah, so like, you know, it's crazy because like it's the right decision from a marketing perspective to pull it offline and focus on it, right? And then bring it back and be like, bam, we're back, rather than kind of languishing in like the mud. And
hey, like, huge update! What's different about the game from last week? It was still up. Like, I could have played it last week and nothing changed. Like, that scarcity is so important.
It is
when it comes inside of marketing, and I think players don't always understand that. They're like, I think Street Fighter 6 is a really good example of it. Like, the way people were frothing at the mouth to play the beta even after the demo came out with no characters, to the point that Capcom had to make a statement saying, please stop cracking our version of the demo and the beta.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
You know?
Can you imagine, like please don't crack our game. Please don't do that. Yeah, that was really funny, actually. How do I put this?
Speak on it.
The demo is super cool, and the beta coming out is also super cool. Street Fighter 6 has been a tour de force of marketing and tour de force of game design. Everything about that game cooks in a really beautiful way. So, you know, MultiVersus, I think the developers need to take a step back and saying, why is this not cooking, and then get back to chefing it up, right?
Before we move back, actually, I just want to take a few moments to actually pull up the official statement that I was mentioning earlier that we were having a good crackle at, which is right here, because we mostly didn't cover it on stream since we are on our very brief IRL hiatus. But this statement, I'll take a moment to read it. It's officially from the Capcom Pro Tour account, by the way, and it says, "It has come to our attention that some users have been accessing the Street Fighter 6 closed beta test software and playing the game outside of the designated period. This is a violation of the CBT Terms of Service and can be seen as violation of the Capcom Pro Tour Code of Conduct. For the avoidance of doubt, from this point forward, any player who is shown with clear evidence to be accessing the CBT in any unauthorized way may be deemed ineligible for the upcoming Capcom Pro Tour and Street Fighter League seasons. We appreciate your cooperation and understand in helping maintain the fairness. We appreciate your cooperation and understanding in helping maintain the fairness and competitive integrity of our competitions." I just want to say, I personally don't want to out anybody because I don't want to you know what I mean? But I do want to say, I freaking told y'all so. I freaking told y'all so. Y'all were out here streaming cracked versions of the game, expecting the developers not to say anything for content.
Listen, if you play the cracked version of the game, you getting cracked down on. You're done. You're out of here. Can you go back to the message real quick?
Of course.
My typographer brain is going nuts. There's two spaces where they shouldn't be, and that's bullshit.
You know, I was trying not to say it, and that's actually why I went back and reread understanding, was because I was reading a couple seconds there, and I'm actually gonna like move my mouse back over there just because it was bothering me so much. But bear with me if you.
So bad.
I'm glad it's bothering you. See, Don, this is why we vibe, and this is why we have a podcast, because this space right here, and up here and right here means that they were using the justification spacing inside of Photoshop instead of putting it all together in one place.
Yeah, I think they actually just put two spaces, right?
No, it's not well, it's also up here too. Because look at the spacing everywhere else,
you're
right?
Right. Yeah, but there is specifically two spaces. Everywhere else they're using justify.
No, I agree. Everyone else. God bless our glow up for setting up the automatic filter that we have and that proprietary software that we have as well. But
that's right. Yeah, I definitely don't have a big old button that says you must. So no, my anger at the developers for leaving a space in is unmatched, and my anger at people who are cheating is also unmatched.
Yeah, do better. Do better,
That's
social
right.
media heads. Clearly, you guys must have too much time on your hands if you're able to respond to a situation like this and not double check to see if you're double spaced anything. God.
That's right.
That is sarcasm.
Yeah,
that is sarcasm.
I
Social
see
media
why
heads, we love you.
Your lack of care got your game cracked. Oh my god, I'm going straight to hell.
I do officially want to say, like, no sarcasm whatsoever. It's pretty obvious that the both of us here know, just because of the way that we've worked with previous game companies, game publishers, and are like general, I want to say official aficionados, inside of the gaming space, is the very first thing you learn is that you do not work with mods or any cracked version of anything when you are officially a part of a company, because anything you do is liable to them. So if you are a Capcom creator and you're using a cracked version, you're posting it on content, Capcom's promoting you. So Capcom's promoting cracks,
Yeah, I mean, like, speaking honestly, you shouldn't do a cracked version of Street Fighter 6.
You should not ever engage on pirated software. You're really just hurting the economy. The gaming economy.
Think of the economy.
Think of the economy and all of the money that us gamers make inside the economy. You're really just hurting that.
That's right.
That sounded really sarcastic and pessimistic because I dislike capitalism, but yes. I'm being dead ass, right?
You're ruining the horse armor economy right now by cracking Street Fighter 6. Jury is crying in the corner. Kimberly has a broken leg.
Jury has to put on socks now, everybody. I hope you're happy.
Oh, I am happy. Thank God. We gotta get these feet people off Twitter pronto. No, like speaking honestly, like, yes, you should not play the cracked version of Street Fighter 6. It's not cool. The game's not out. It's dishonest. You are stealing from a company to play a game early so you can win tournaments. I'm sorry, that's kind of whack. If you want to do it, after the game's out, you still shouldn't do it, but you especially now should not do it. Like, it's like an extra EX. Don't do it.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. Don't do it.
So I guess for the final topic, let's obviously just get into what it means now that the podcast is back. Because, honestly, truthfully, Don, we had a pretty good thing going last year, as we said at the start of this, and us choosing to come back just comes out to so many things aligning in both your personal life and my personal life. And I guess the first thing I want to give you the floor to do is actually talk about some of the content things that you've been doing. And I can just go ahead and pull up one of the things I believe you've been working on the most, which is actually your Twitch.
Yeah, I've been I've been streaming on Twitch. I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. PST, on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. PST. And yeah, I just played, video games, TM.
Yeah, this is
I'm doing a lot.
I believe footage actually from your latest stream where you were actually streaming Street Fighter 6.
I think this is actually not me.
Oh,
I don't know who this is.
This is awkward for me.
You know what I think this is? I think this is actually, I have a stream these people.
Oh yeah, this is NYC Furby's stream.
Yeah, that's
my
Sanchez's.
apologies. Yeah, let me go ahead and pull up this other thing right here that
that's
I actually have.
Look for May.
Yeah, here we go.
Guilty Gear May. Oh, this is me playing Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah,
because
you're not just a fighting game player. You are a person, and people play different types of games. So why don't we go ahead and talk about what type of games you're enjoying right now? Because I know they're not all fighting games, and I know that very recently a new game actually came out that I believe you said you were interested in playing and showcasing.
So yeah, I've been playing a lot of Darkest Dungeon 2. The game's like mad good. Like Darkest Dungeon 1 right now, my favorite video game of all time as of today. Although a new game that came out just beat that, honestly, maybe. Darkest Dungeon 2 is right up there. I don't think it's as good as 1, but it's really fun. Highly recommend. It's not crazy expensive, but I've also been playing Breath of the Wild, which I'm gonna stream too. So, Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, Tears of the Kingdom. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Wow. That game's good.
How are you feeling about it?
I feel like it's on track to be my favorite game of all time at the moment. It's like a completionist nightmare / like a beautiful thing. Like you can build stuff, which is great.
I'm a big fan of building personally. Like I know I don't want to say it's super casual core because that gives it a weird context that it doesn't deserve, but I will say it's very therapeutic to just like kind of turn off your brain and just be able to explore a location and build.
Yeah, it's fun. And like the cool thing about Zelda too is like you don't have to do anything after you're out of the first area. Like you don't have to build. You don't have to. I mean, you do to complete like shrines, but you don't have to. You know, you can kind of do whatever you want. And like the game has, it feels like a way better version of Breath of the Wild. It's just incredible. I highly recommend playing it. It's cool.
Vibes. I'm really glad, firstly, that you're having a great time with the game, but I'm also really happy to hear that your stream is going super well. You know, your Twitch streams have been hype as heck. Obviously, we showed off some footage of your actual streams earlier, but like I know a lot of people have been coming through to support you. If you happen to be offline on Twitch, where can people go to support you? I believe you have a couple of additional like places, like you have a Discord now, right? Yeah,
I have a Discord where the Jellyfish Pirates, which is, you know, you can, this is just Jellyfish Pirates. There's Oreo, my cat, got emotes of her. I'm on Discord, I'm on YouTube. YouTube is probably the big one. I post about 2 to 3 times to once to 0 a week, depending on how I feel. And you can find me there. You can watch some vids. You can experience video games, TM, and have a good time.
A lot of video games on here, a lot of videos. And you know what would be really cool is if actually, as soon as this goes public, I see right now that you have 3,760 subscribers. It'd be really cool if we get you up to 4K.
That would be
before the very
cool.
next podcast in 2 weeks, you know?
That'd be super cool.
It's crazy because it would just require people to go to youtube.com/@YOHOSIE and hit that cool little subscribe button, which most people who are watching the podcast right now can probably see that I've already done. And I have that little bell set to all, which is really important on this platform.
Hit the bell, subscribe, like, comment.
Beat it up like it's a grappler main.
Share.
Yeah.
Grab your phone and do a 360.
Maybe not all of that. Maybe we don't do all of that now, but you know, press the button.
Grab your phone, do a 360, and hit the subscribe button on the way down.
Don't grab it though. Just don't grab it. Just
kick your phone. Stand medium, kick your phone. Hit the subscribe button.
Dragon punch it.
That's right. Yeah, punch your phone.
All right. Well, you know, Don, I absolutely love talking to you. And I think our time on this podcast has officially come to an end. But I do want to thank all of our fantastic listeners for being here, and I want to remind them to make sure that they are subscribed and following us as well on Spotify. We are actively going to be updating the FG Cast every 2 weeks, I believe, is what we're...
every 2 weeks. That's what we're looking at right now.
Awesome, awesome. And I believe you can do that by going to FG Cast. Oh my gosh. Wait, actually, let me look up the hot links that I set up that I'm not remembering right now for this bit. But I promise you they'll be really good. They're really, really promising. Oh my god, did someone else take our tag? No. I think we were under FGC Cast. Yes, we were. We were under FGC Cast. That's right. The one. That's where we were.
Right. Ugh. FGC Cast.
I forgot I did that, dude.
That's okay. It is what it is.
It's been a while. But like, check this out. Look at our Spotify. We got a couple of episodes on here that you can listen from last year when we were talking about the fact that neither of us got into the Street Fighter 6 beta. That was such a good time. Just thinking about how that didn't happen.
Those suckers. How dare they? How dare they?
Just because we didn't want to buy a key, just because we didn't want to encourage other people to make cracked content. You know?
Yeah, luckily they did 2 closed betas, so I got into the second one.
Yes, we did. And we have another version in here that's exclusively on Spotify that includes some of the musical stylings of Zaid Tabani, who is the creator of the Evolution theme. So highly recommend listening to that.
Theme, yes.
Yeah, but that's gonna do it, I think, for this episode. So thank you so much for listening, everybody. Dawn, any final thoughts?
No, stay gaming, everyone. Stay hydrated, and whatever you're doing right now, you're killing it.
Yeah, keep gaming,
Are you laying in
gamers.
bed, falling asleep? Are you going for a walk? Are you working out? Are you playing Guilty Gear? Whatever you're doing great.
You're doing amazing. So
you're doing top tier.
Hey, thank you so much for coming out to this episode of FGC Cast, and just remember, we'll see you offline, gamers. Have a great rest of your day.
See you offline. Come to Combo Breaker.
Come to Combo Breaker.
Combo Breaker.